He chuckled first, a sharp, empty laugh that reverberated through the dining room like glass breaking in slow motion. Then they all chimed in. My wife, her sister, her parents, every face around that table glowing under the amber chandelier, eyes sparkling with amusement at me. All because her sister's new boyfriend, Daniel, had just cracked a harmless joke about my job. Must be tough, he said, leaning back in his overpriced jacket, working for a company that barely anyone's heard of. But hey, stable is good, right? Laughter followed, like a rehearsed chorus. My wife didn't defend me. She leaned forward, touched his arm, and said, "Oh, stop, Daniel. He's sensitive about that." I wasn't. I just smiled, raised my glass, and said nothing. Because in that moment, I saw everything I needed to. I met Daniel 2 months ago. Back then, he seemed harmless. Confident, loud, but harmless. He worked in finance, my sister-in-law had said proudly. A big firm, big bonuses. He's going places, she added, glancing at me as if to remind me I wasn't. I'd let it slide. I usually do. But tonight was different because this dinner wasn't just family. It was judgment dressed as conversation. Every laugh was a test of how small they could make me feel before I'd crack. And then my wife, the same woman who once said she loved my quietness, my composure, leaned close and whispered, "Stop making the family look bad." That's when I decided I wouldn't shout. I wouldn't defend myself. I'd show them. See, Daniel wasn't new to me. 2 weeks ago, I'd come across his name buried in a client file. My company, the Unknown One, happens to handle corporate risk analysis for several investment firms, his included. I didn't think much of it until I saw his digital trail. A few transfers that didn't make sense. Numbers shuffled just enough to raise questions but not alarms. A man clever enough to play rich but careless enough to leave breadcrumbs. I didn't report it right away. I waited. I watched. And tonight, when I knew he'd open his mouth in front of my wife's family, I made sure the final report was ready. He bragged through the main course about his clients, his watch, his upcoming promotion. My wife's parents hung on to every word like it was scripture. Meanwhile, my phone buzzed. The alert I'd been waiting for. A single message from my office's internal system. Case D. Cooper confirmed for audit. Evidence uploaded. Perfect timing. Daniel, I said quietly, setting down my fork. You said you work at Meriton Capital, right? He smirked. Still do. Why? Thinking of applying? I smiled back. No, just making sure I've got the name right before I call my boss. His laugh faltered. I unlocked my phone, turned the screen toward him. The table went silent. Emails, transaction screenshots, internal memos, all stamped and dated. His name on every one. My wife's sister leaned forward. What is this? I spoke Softly, each word deliberate. Fraud if you simplify it, embezzlement. Technically. A few 100,000. Rerouted through shell accounts. My team discovered it during a compliance review. Daniel's smile vanished. Completely. His pulse visible at his throat. You can't. That's confidential. Not anymore, I said. The firm sent the report to federal regulators this morning. They'll freeze accounts by Monday. The room froze with him. Forks hovered midair, wine glasses untouched. And my wife, the one who told me to stop embarrassing her, stared at me like she'd never really seen me before. I turned back to her, calm, steady. You told me not to make the family look bad. I didn't. Then I finished my wine. He left before dessert. Didn't even say goodbye. My sister-in-law chased him out, crying. My in-laws mumbled something about misunderstandings and timing. My wife said nothing the entire drive home. Just silence. Thick, uneasy silence. When we reached the house, she finally spoke. You planned that? Yes. You humiliated them. No, I said. He did that himself. She looked at me like she didn't know whether to be scared or impressed, maybe both. That night, she slept facing the wall. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling nothing but an odd, peaceful quiet. 3 days later, the news broke. Meriton Capital under federal investigation. Daniel's face was everywhere. Fired, blacklisted, possibly charged. My wife didn't laugh anymore when her sister called. Didn't talk much at all. And me, I just went to work like usual. Same small company. Same quiet office. Only difference, my name now sat on the top of that investigation report. Funny thing about respect, you don't demand it. You earn it or you take it back. They mocked me at dinner. Now, whenever the family gathers, they speak carefully, politely. Like every word might end up in one of my reports. And I smile because I'm not the one under review anymore. Not anymore.